It's really tough. I feel very comfortable in saying that Gordon Hayward probably put in the most work this offseason because he's going to a new team. Um, he's going with the hopes that he's going to be able to help this team get to Eastern Conference Final, get to the finals, and possibly win. So you knew he was in great shape. You knew he had put extra time in because he wants to make a great showing. And to have it all this season for him come crashing down, 5 minutes into the ball game is very, very unfortunate. And as Kyrie alluded to, there are a game to be played. But Skip, your heart just breaks. Think about how many times Gordon Hayward has gone up for an alley-oop, either dunked the ball, laid it up, grabbed a rebound. Think about how much jumping they do on a nightly basis. And this was one of the most freak accidents that I've seen. Now, Paul George suffered a similar injury leading up to the World Championship. And if you remember, all the guys started pulling out. Kevin Durant, all of a sudden, he wanted to wash his car. He's like, I can't run that risk. They had a game to play. Cleveland had to put that aside. The Celtics, who it happened to one of their teammates, they had to put that aside and go play a basketball game. And they're both to be commended for doing that because the game was a very good game. But Skip, my heart just breaks for this young man because I know when you change teams, having gone through that, you want to make sure you're in your best possible shape. You're ready to go play because you want to make a great impression on your teammates and that fan base. And to have this wiped away 5 minutes into the ball game, I just hope there's no nerve damage. He's done for this year. He might not be the.
Are we sure about? I don't know. We sure?
I mean, he had a fracture and a broken tibia. Skip, he's not.
I mean, he dislocated his ankle, but he fractured his tibia.
Put it like this: Paul George incident happened in July. He came back for like the last week of the season.
Yeah, it just depends if there's nerve damage.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, hopefully, it's not nerve damage, any nerve damage, because that's the thing. When you start going down to lower extremities, that area doesn't get a whole lot of blood circulation to begin with. Talking to somebody that had a lot of ankle problems throughout my career. But I believe if there's no nerve damage, he's probably a year and a half or 2 years away from being the Gordon Hayward that we last saw in the NBA playoffs last year. But he's in for a long road to recovery, but there's no question in my mind he's built up the right stuff to overcome this.
You used the word accident, and that was my first thought. This was a terrible, terrible accident. The alley-oop play that we see, 4 or 5 times a night.
Yes.
It can be the most dangerous play in basketball. Right there with the breakaway dunk that's challenged at the rim where both players go flying into the first row.
Correct.
That can be pretty dangerous. But this one can be even more so because the player trying to convert it is watching the ball, and several other players are trying to keep him from the ball. And LeBron made a very good basketball play. He left his man and came across the lane to challenge the alley-oop.
Right.
There was inadvertent contact, just inadvertent, because bodies are just going to hit.
Right.
My first thought was I thought they might call a foul on LeBron because he just accidentally, as he's going for the ball, they hit, I don't know if they banged, they just hit bodies. LeBron is a big, strong man. And by sheer accident, Gordon Hayward just lost a little bit of balance and came down incredibly, dangerously, awkwardly, and got his foot caught underneath him. And like you say, we see it all the time. And a lot of times bodies do bang on the alley-oop and everybody manages to land safely. Not this time.
And we saw this just a week ago. Odell Beckham Jr. ankle happened. It happens the exact same way.
Yep.
Ankle, he comes down, buckles inside, and snap. But I believe Gordon Hayward is made of the right stuff. He will come back. He has a long process. But look, you don't get to the NBA. You don't get to become a professional athlete without overcoming long odds. So I'm not betting against Gordon Hayward. Wish he and his family all the best moving forward, but this is tough. This is tough for the Celtics because they had penciled a guy in that was going to be 20 plus, 6 and 5. And now, not only do you take him out of the lineup, you shorten your bench because now somebody else is going to have to play those minutes, contribute, and that's one less player off the bench.
Their bench was a little short to start with.
Yes.
But we'll get to that later.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few segments from the newest show on FS1, First Things First, with Chris Carter and Nick Wright.